Oh. Oh, bro. Okay. I don't know if this is the beginning of Purgatory. I know I did a couple of videos where I'm pretty irate, so I'm not going to do those, but we'll go ahead and do this one. Alright. Let's go ahead and start this. Do some Dante's Inferno. What up? Good morning, boys. I have a different TV, so hopefully the flow of it will be a little bit different. Get out my rants early. I'm almost done with the Old Testament here, I think. Still have plenty to do, though. And you know them, they do it twice over, so. Canto. Okay. Framed by God? Okay. Chapter 41 of Isaiah. We'll start with David. Keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near, then let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him ruler over kings. He gave them as the dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow. He pursued them, and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning. I, the Lord, the first, and with the last, I am he. The isles saw it, and feared the ends of the earth were afraid, drew near and came. They helped every one of his neighbor, and every one said to his brother, Be of good courage. So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smootheth with the hammer, him that smote the anvil, saying, It is ready for the solder, and he fastened it with the nails, that it should not be moved. But thou, Israel, art my servant Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham my friend. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them, and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou warm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places, and fountains in the midst of valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittim tree, and the myrtle, and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree, and the pine, and the box tree together, that they may see, and know, and consider, and understand together, that the land of the Lord hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. Produce your cause, said the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasons, said the King of Jacob. Let them bring them forth, and shew us what shall happen. Let them shew the former things, what they be, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them, or declare us things for to come. Shew the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Yea, do good, or do evil, that we may be dismayed, and behold it together. Behold, ye are nothing, and your work of naught. An abomination is he that chooseth you. I have raised up one from the north, and he shall come from the rising of the sun shall he call upon my name, and he shall come upon princes as upon mortar, as the potter treadeth clay. Who hath declared from the beginning, that we may know, and before time that we may say, He is righteous? Yea, there is none that sheweth, yea, there is none that declareth, yea, there is none that heareth your words. The first shall say to Zion, Behold, behold them, and I will give to Jerusalem one that bringeth good tidings. For I beheld, and there was no man, even among men, and there was no counselor, that when I asked of them, could answer a word. Behold, they are all vanity. Their works are nothing. Their molten images are wind and confusion. Alright, Dante, you're up. Canto 29. 8th circle, 9th pit, Giri del Bello. 10th pit, falsifiers of all sorts, Griffolino of Arezzo, Cappuccio. The many people and the diverse wound had so inebriated mine eyes that they were fain to stay for weeping. But Virgil said to me, What art thou still watching? Why is thy sight still fixed down there among the dismal mutilated shades? Thou hast not done so at the other pits. Consider, if thou thinkest to count them, that the valley circles 22 miles, and already the moon is beneath our feet. The time is little now that is conceded to us, and other things are to be seen than thou seest. If thou hast, replied I thereupon, I attended to the reason why I was looking. Perhaps thou wouldst have permitted me yet to stay. Meanwhile my leader went on, and I behind him went, already making reply and adding, Within that cavern where I just now was holding my eyes so fixedly, I think that a spirit of my own blood weeps the sin that down there costs so dear. Then said the master, Let not thy thought henceforth reflect on him. Attend to other thing, and let him there remain, for I saw him at the foot of the little bridge pointing at thee, and threatening fiercely with his finger, and I heard him call Giri del Bello. Thou wert then so completely engaged on him, who of old held hot fort, that thou didst not look at they till he had departed. O my leader, said I, the violent death which is not yet avenged for him by any who is sharer in the shame made him indignant, wherefore as I deem he went on without speaking to me, and thereby has he made me pity him the more. Thus we spake far as the place on the crag which first shows the next valley, if more light were there quite to the bottom, when we were above the last cloister of Mailbolg, so that its lay brothers could appear to our sight, divers lamentations pierced me, that had their arrows barbed with pity. Wherefore I covered my ears with my hands. Such pain as there would be if, between July and September, from the hospitals of Valdiciana, and of Maremma, and of Sardinia, the sick all be in one ditch together, such was there here, and such stench came forth therefrom as is wont to come from putrescent limbs. We descended upon the last bank of the long crag, ever to the left hand, and then my sight became more vivid, down towards the bottom, where the ministress of the High Lord, infallible justice, punishes the falsifiers whom on earth she registers. I do not think it was a greater sorrow to see the whole people in Egna sick, when the air was so full of pestilence that the animals, even to the little worm, all fell dead. And afterwards the ancient people, according as the poets hold for sure, were restored by seed of ants, than it was to see the spirit languishing in different heaps through that dark valley. This one over the belly, and that over the shoulders of another was lying, and this one crawling was shifting himself along the dismal path. Step by step we went without speech, looking at it and listening to the sick, who could not lift their persons. I saw two seated leaning on each other, as pan is leaned against pan to warm, spotted from head to foot with scabs, and never did I see currycomb plied by a boy for whom his lord is waiting, nor by one who keeps awake unwillingly, as each often plied the bite of his nails upon himself, because of the great rage of his itching, which has no other relief. And the nails drag down the scab, even as a knife, the scales of a bream or of other fish that may have them larger. O thou that with the fingers dost dismail thyself, began my leader unto one of them, and who sometimes makest pincers of them, tell me if any Latian is among those who are here within. So may thy nails suffice thee eternally for this work. Latians are we whom here thou seest so defaced both of us, replied one weeping. But thou, who art thou, that hast asked of us? And the leader said, I am one that descends with this living man down from ledge to ledge, and I intend to show hell to him. Then their mutual support was broken, and trembling each turned to me together, with others that heard him by rebound. The good master inclined himself wholly toward me, saying, Say to them what thou wilt, and I began, since he was willing. So may memory of you not steal away in the first world from human winds, but may it live under many suns. Tell me who ye are, and of what race. Let not your disfiguring and loathsome punishment fright you from disclosing yourselves unto me. I was from Arezzo, replied one of them, and Albero of Siena, had me put in the fire, but that for which I had died brings me not here. True it is that I said to him, speaking in jest, I knew how to raise myself through the air in flight, and he who had vain desire and little wit wished that I should show him the art, and only because I did not make him Daedalus, made me be burned by one that held him as a son. But to the last pit of the tin for the alchemy that I practiced in the world, Minos, to whom it is not allowed to err, condemned me. And I said to the poet, now is ever people so vain as the Sienese? Surely not so the French by much. Whereon the other leprous one, who heard me, replied to my words, except Strika, who knew how to make moderate expenditure, the Nicola, who first invented the caustic custom of the clove in the garden where such seed takes root, and except the brigade in which Cassia of Asciano wasted his vineyard and his great wood, and the Abigliato showed his wit. But that thou mayest know who thus seconds thee against the Sienese, so sharpen thine eye toward me that my face may answer well to thee. So shalt thou see that I am the shade of Cappuccio, who falsify the metals of alchemy, and thou shouldst recollect if I decry thee aright, how I was a good ape of nature.
I got you. I'll do that one.
Brahmin. Many sons. We won't go to that. Which god am I? Does it matter? Who you watching here? I'm picturing him down in a cave. I'm picturing Superman coming in and saving everybody and giving the sword to everyone and laying everyone to waste. Freeing the slaves. Moses? Bro, is that you, Moses? Sword in hand. Canto 30. 8th circle, 10th pit, false fires of all sorts. Mira, Gianna, Shichi, Master Adam, Synonym of Troy. At the time when Juno was wroth because of Semele against the Theban blood, as she showed more than once, Athamas became so insane that seeing his wife come laden on either hand with her 2 sons, cried out, spread we the nets, so that I may take the lioness and the young lions at the pass. And then he stretched out his pitiless talons, taking the one who was named Lyricus, and whirled him and struck him on a rock. And she drowned herself with her other burden. And when fortune turned downward the all-daring loftiness of the Trojans, so that together with the kingdom the king was undone, Hecuba sad, wretched, and captive, when she saw Polyxena dead, and woeful described her Polydorus on the sea bank frantic, barked like a dog, to such degree in grief distraught her mind. But neither the furies of Thebes nor the Trojan were ever seen towards anyone so cruel. Whether in goading beasts or human limbs, as I saw 2 shades, pallid and naked, who, biting, were running in the way that a boar does when from the sty he breaks loose. One came at Cappuccio, and on the nape of his neck struck his teeth, so that dragging him he made his belly scratch along the solid bottom. And the Aretine, who remained trembling, said to me, that goblin is Gianni Shichi, and rabid he goes, thus maltreating others. Oh, said I to him, so may the other not fix his teeth on thee? Let it not weary thee to tell who it is he, it start hence. And he to me, this is the ancient soul of profligate, Mira, who became her father's lover beyond rightful love. She came to sinning with him by falsifying herself in another's form, even as the other, who goes off there, undertook. In order to gain the lady of the hurt, she counterfeit voiso donati, making a will and giving it to the will due to form. And after the 2 rabid ones upon whom I had kept my eye had disappeared, I turned it to look at the other miscreants. I saw one made in fashion of a lute, had he but only had his groin cut off at the part where man is forked. The heavy hypocrisy, which with the humor that it ill digests, so unmates the members that the face corresponds not with the belly, was making him hold his lips open, as the hectic does, who for thirst turns one towards his chin, the other upward. O ye who are without any punishment, and I know not why in the dismal world, said he to us, look and attend to the misery of Master Adam. Living, I had enough of what I wished, and now, alas, I long for a drop of water. The rivulets that from the green hills of the Casentino descend into the Arno, making their channels cool and soft, stand ever before me, and not in vain, for their image dries me up far more than the disease which strips my face of flesh. The rigid justice that scourged me draws occasion from the place where I sinned to put my sighs the more in flight. There was Romina, where I falsified the alloy stamped with the Baptist, for which on earth I left my body burned. But if here I could see the wrenched soul of Guido, or of Alessandro, or of their brother, for Fount Branda, I would not give the sight. One of them is here within already, if the raging shades who go around speak true. But what does it avail me who have my limbs bound? If I were only yet so light that in 100 years I could go an inch, I should already have set out along the path seeking for him among this disfigured folk. Although it circles round 11 miles and is not less than half a mile across, because of them I am much such a family. They induced me to strike the florins that had full 3 carats of base metal. And I to him, who are the 2 poor wretches that are smoking like a wet hand in winter, lying close to your confines on the right? Here I found them, he answered, when I rained down into this trough, and they have not since given a turn, and I do not believe they will give one to all eternity. One is a false woman that accused Joseph, the other is a false Sinon, the Greek, from Troy. Because of their sharp fever, they throw out such great reek. And one of them who took it ill, perchance, at being named so darkly, with his first struck him on his stiff paunch. It sounded as if it were a drum, and Master Adam struck him on the face with his arm that did not seem less hard, saying to him, though because of my heavy limbs moving, hence be taken from me, I have an arm free for such need. Whereon he replied, when thou wast going to the fire, thou hadst it not thus ready, but so and more thou hast it when thou wast coining. And the hydropic, thou saidst true in this, but thou wast not so true a witness there, where thou wast questioned of the truth at Troy. If I spake false, thou didst falsify the coin, said Sinon, and I am here for a single sin, and thou for more than any other demon. Remember, perjured one, for the horse, answered he who had the puffed up paunch, and be it ill for thee, and the whole world knows it. And be ill for thee the thirst which cracks thy tongue, said the Greek, and the putrid water that makes thy belly thus a hedge before thine eyes. Then the corner, so yawns thy mouth for its own harm, as it is wont. For if I am thirsty and humour stuffs me out, thou hast the burning and the head that pains thee. And to lick the mirror of Narcissus, thou wouldst not want many words of invitation. To listen to them was I wholly fixed, when the master said to me, now then, look for it once but little that I quarrel with thee. When I heard him speak to me with anger, I turned me toward him at such shame that still circles through my memory, and as he that dreams of his harm, and dreaming desires to dream, so that which he craves as if it were not, such I became not being able to speak, for I desired to excuse myself, and I was indeed excusing myself, and did not think that I was doing it. Lest shame doth wash away a greater fault than thine hath been, said the master. Therefore disburden thyself of all regret, and make reckoning that I am always at thy side, if again it happen that fortune find thee where people are in similar brawl, for the wish of here it is base within.
I got you, bro.
I know where you're at, or similar. You're at the peak. You're underground here. Okay, that's better. You're underground here, or something similar. So you're digging up the metal for the coins. Dude, that's disheartening. You find me, the horse? He's talking about destiny. Zur? The eternal? The horse?
Dude, it's pulling me away.
Either that or you're talking about Alan, the first horse ride that I've ever had. But the first thought that came to mind was destiny. You're down in the pit and here I am, the horse? Thin air? That actually makes sense. Wilbur? Solomon, what are you doing? I'm going to come to you, Solomon. Sir. So 19 of the Quran, Miriam. All the sons here. Bro. Kaf ha ya ein sad. This is a reminder of your Lord's mercy to his servant Zechariah, when he cried out to his Lord privately, saying, My Lord, surely my bones have become brittle, and gray hair has spread across my head. But I have never been disappointed in my prayer to you, my Lord. And I am concerned about the faith of my relatives after me, since my wife is barren. So grant me, by your grace, an heir, who will inherit prophethood from me and the family of Jacob, and make him, O Lord, pleasing to you. The angels announced, O Zechariah, indeed we give you the good news of the birth of a son, whose name will be John, a name we have not given to anyone before. He wondered, my Lord, how can I have a son when my wife is barren, and I have become extremely old? An angel replied, So will it be, your Lord says. It is easy for me, just as I created you before, when you were nothing. Zechariah said, My Lord, grant me a sign, he responded. Your sign is that you will not be able to speak to people for 3 nights despite being healthy. Okay, so the pyramids are a guitar. That just confirms that, Zach. So the pyramids are a guitar.
It makes sense.
I was in a band with my buddy, and he played a guitar. I played bass. So that explains that, as we were explaining the pyramids and the atmosphere that it exerts. So everything's on camera. As he mentions Grant. Excuse me, Wilbur. So he came out to his people from the sanctuary, signaling to them to glorify Allah morning and evening. He's in Athens. It was later said, O John, hold firmly to the scriptures, and we granted him wisdom while he was still a child, as well as purity and compassion from us, and he was God-fearing, and kind to his parents. He was neither arrogant nor disobedient. Peace be upon him the day he was born, and the day of his death, and the day he will be raised back to life. And mention in the book of O Prophet the story of Mary when she withdrew from her family to a place in the east, screening herself off from them. Then we sent to her our angel Gabriel, appearing before her as a man perfectly formed. She appealed, I truly seek refuge in the most compassionate from you, so leave me alone if you are good God-fearing. He responded, I am only a messenger from your Lord, sent to bless you with a pure son. I appreciate you. She wondered, how can I have a son when no man has ever touched me, nor am I unchaste? He replied, So will it be. Your Lord says, It is easy for me, and so will we make him a sign for humanity and a mercy from us. It is a matter already decreed. So she conceived him and withdrew with him to a remote place. Then the pains of labor drove her to the trunk of a palm tree. She cried, Alas, I wish I had died before this and was a thing long forgotten. So a voice reassured her from below her, Do not grieve. Your Lord has provided a stream at your feet. And shake the trunk of this palm tree toward you. It will drop fresh ripe dates upon you. So eat and drink and put your heart at ease. But if you see any of the people say, I have vowed silence to the most compassionate, so I am not talking to anyone today. Then she returned to her people carrying him, then said in shock, O Mary, you have certainly done a horrible thing. O sister of Aaron, your father was not an indecent man, nor was your mother unchaste. So she pointed to the baby. They exclaimed, How can we talk to someone who is an infant in the cradle? Jesus declared, I am truly a servant of Allah. He has destined me to be given the scripture and to be a prophet. He has made me a blessing wherever I go and bid me to establish prayer and give alms tax as long as I live. And to the kind, to my mother, he has not made me arrogant or defiant. Peace be upon me the day I was born, the day I die, and the day I will be raised back to life. That is Jesus, son of Mary, and this is a word of truth about which they dispute. It is not for Allah to take a son. Glory be to him. When he decrees a matter, he simply tells it, be, and it is. Jesus also declared, Surely Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so worship him alone. This is the straight path. Yet their various groups have differed among themselves about him, so woe to the disbelievers when they face a tremendous day. How clearly will they hear and see on the day they will come to us, but today the wrongdoers are clearly astray. And warn them, O prophet, of the day of regret, when all matters will be settled, while they are engrossed in heedlessness and disbelief. Indeed, it is we who will succeed the earth and whoever is on it, and to us they will all be returned. And mention in the book, O prophet, the story of Abraham. He was surely a man of truth and a prophet. Remember when he said to his father, O dear father, why do you worship what can neither hear nor see, nor benefit you at all? O dear father, I have certainly received some knowledge which you have not received, so follow me and I will guide you to the straight path. O dear father, do not worship Satan. Surely Satan is ever rebellious against the most compassionate. O dear father, I truly fear that you will be touched by torment from the most compassionate and become Satan's companion in hell. He threatened, how dare you reject my idols, O Abraham. If you do not desist, I will certainly stone you to death. So be gone from me for a long time. Canto 31. The giants around the eighth circle, Nimrod, Ephaltes, Antaeus, sets the poet down in the ninth circle.
You have to, bro.
One and the same tongue first stung me, so that it tinged both my cheeks and then supplied the medicine to me. Thus do I hear that the lance of Achilles and of his father was wont to be cause first of a sad and then of a good sick gift. We turned our back to the wretched valley, up along the bank that girds it round, crossing without any speech. Here it was less than night and less than day, so that my sight went little forward. But I heard a horn sounding so loud that it would have made every thunder faint, which directed my eyes following its course counter to it, wholly to one place. Probably from Ovid, who more than once refers to the magi power of the spear, which had been given to Peleus by Chiron, Shakespeare, too had heard of it and applies it precisely as Dante does to one, whose smile and frown, like to Achilles' spear, is able with the charge to kill and cure. The 10th and last pit, my eyes went to the direction whence the sound came. We'll be avoiding that. I mean what I say, you've really pissed me off, and you should not have done that. Hey Clayton, we understand your situation, and we have this going on over here. Here's exactly what you want. So, what they're telling me is that the pyramids sped up space. So Earth, like I said, I said it before, the pyramids would be pre-human. In fact, they have a part to play with, like, everything on Earth. The structure of it. So they would have, like, helped speed up the process. It's a wedge. After the dolorous rout, when Charlemagne lost the holy jest, Roland sounded not so terribly. Short while did I carry my head turned thitherward, when it seemed to me I saw many high towers. Whereon I, Master, say, what city is this? And he to me, because too far away thou peerest through the darkness, it happens that thou dost err in the imagining. Thou shalt see well, if thou arrivest there, how much the sense at distance is deceived. Therefore somewhat more spur thyself on. Then tenderly he took me by the hand, and said, Before we go further forward, in order that the fact may seem less strange to thee, know that they are not towers, but giants, and they are in the abyss, round about the bank, from the navel downward, one and all of them. As when the mist is dissipating, the look little by little shapes out what the vapor that thickens the air conceals. So as I pierced the gross and dark air, as we drew nearer and nearer to the verge, error fled from me, and fear grew upon me. Fear would be the increase of speed. For as above, et Roncavelli's, Roland's ad mis Polyphon, Asabouche, impient les bien, pagrant vertu les sunset, halt sunt le pieux, à la voix, à ce mot lunge, a grand 30, liwe, la front, il respondre, Carles loit es ses campaigns tutis. Chanson de Roland, 1753-57. The central deep of hell, dividing the eighth circle from the ninth, the lowest. He's mentioning, am I a porn star? Is that what's going on? In the end, Triple X.
No.
In the end, Triple X, we are not arguing with you. The thing not to do here, and you did it. Let's do this, guys. No, I'm not a porn star. No, they are not a porn star. Old man, creep. I am not kidding with you. Oh, start crying. Be scared. Its circular enclosure, Monterjuan, crowned itself with towers, so with half their body the horrible giants whom Hove still threatens from heaven when he thunders, betowered the bank that surrounds the abyss. And I discern now the face of one, his shoulders and his breasts, and great part of his belly, and down along his sides both his arms. Nature surely, when she left the art of such like creatures, did exceeding well in taking such executors from Mars. Is it like a table? That's confusing. And if she repent not of elephants and of whales, he who looks subtly holds her more just and more discreet therefore. For where the faculty of the mind is added to evil, will, and to power, the human race can make no defense against it. His face seemed to me long and huge as the pine cone of St. Peter at Rome, and in its proportion were his other bones, so that the bank, which was an apron from its middle downward, showed of him fully so much above, that to reach to his hair 3 Freilanders would have made ill vaunt. Okay. You're talking about the bird. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to find it. You're talking about the stretched out bird. It's a human with his nose stretched out, and he looks like a bird, and his eyes are like hollowed out. No, not at all. Here they come jumping in. That's why we changed to the TV. She can't latch onto the TV. It's minuscule. I think it was Bosch, though. Because he was the creepy one. It's similar to that, but different. So this is real? But 100 years later. For I saw of him 30 great palms down from the place where the one buckles his cloak. Raphael, my amak zabi ami. Mamma mia! The fierce mouth, to which sweeter psalms were not befitting, began to cry, and my leader towards him. Foolish soul! Keep to thy horn, and with that vent thyself when anger or other passion touches thee. Seek at thy neck, and thou wilt find the cord that holds its tide, O soul confused, and see it lying athwart thy great breast. When he said to me, he himself accuses himself. This is Nimrod, because of whose evil thought the world uses not one language only. Let us leave him, and let us not speak in vain, for so is every language to him, as his to others, which to no one is known. That turning to the left, we pursued our way, and at a crossbow's shot we found the next, far more fierce and larger. Who the master was for binding him I cannot tell, but he had his right arm fastened behind, and the other in front, by a chain that held him entwined from the neck downward, so that upon his uncovered part it was wound as far as the 5th coil. This proud one wished to make trial of his power against Supreme Hove. Said my leader, wherefore he hath such reward. Ephialtes is his name, and he made his great endeavors when the giants made the gods afraid. The arms which he plied he moves nevermore. Ah, there it is. Gabriel. Calls cult. close the sample space on that. What is this? Like I said before, down in the sewer that needs to be removed. Like, it needs to be dug up, and it's not going to be later. It's not going to be when the will happens. Oh, no, it is not. We're not going to be doing what this says, I assure you. Let me jump in front of you before you cut me off. Because this is the exact picture that I've been talking about. I was thinking of the bird. I wasn't thinking of this blue here. That is going to be removed. If you need to dig it up, dig it up. I really don't give a fuck. I will do something about it. And it ain't gonna be later. It's gonna be now. That includes the money now, not later. Now that I have this in front of my face, Gabriel, I appreciate you. That's not good enough for me. I mean what I say, dude. All you're doing is making it worse. All you're doing is making it worse. So that needs to be done immediately. Definitely not afraid. You're a bitch. Not the painter. I'm talking about the people of today. Excuse me, let me clarify. That's amazing. I don't know what to think about you. Lady, I'll be right back. He riled me up. I wasn't listening to what he said. It's a good deck, though. I mean, as good as any gets, really. Okay, get that blue. Oh, I didn't see discard a card. I was reading it as I was reading it as I discarded it. That's all right. It's appropriate, actually. Guiding light. You should probably stop doing that. That's appropriate. Today's not your lucky day. In fact, it's the exact opposite. I am taking action on you. Switch TV real quick. You can tell when they switch it over with the eyes. Hold on, I'll be right back. Excuse me, Dante. I have to switch TVs. I will be right back. Oh, start crying for me. You're in trouble. This was unplugged. Okay, we're gonna have to redo it. But I mean, that was the end of that video anyway. But I don't have any more videos. I thought I did, but I don't. I know the end of the one of them. I go off, so try to skip that anyway, regardless. Okay. That's unfortunate. I don't want to have to redo that. Dante will be easy, but then I'll have to go back through the through David. The game. It reminds me of the Buddhist monks. That's all right. It'll work out. I wasn't done with it anyway, so I'm trying to do like short little hour videos, and it's like I don't want to quit. It's addicting. I like hanging out with the boys.